Hey everybody, it is the Quantum Show. I got people in the room already. I'm looking over here and I'm like, excellent. Got Destic, C, Intergalactic Overhaul, and Samo. Welcome back to the Quantum Show, everybody. Appreciate you coming to visit. So, I've been spending first things first, sound check. Give me a sound check. Do I sound okay? Sound check, sound check, sound check. Put it in the chat. I sound good. I sound choppy. Let me know. I know the video is not going to be the greatest, but hey, Jeanette. Okay. How do I sound? Sound perfect? All right. I got a sound perfect 5 out of 5. Muffled? Well, best I can do looking at the finest that $10 can buy right here. Let me replug just to make sure. Okay. Crafting Gamer, hey. Welcome to the Quantum Show. I don't know if I recognize you or not. Raimi Spider-Man. Okay, hey Nathan. Okay, I'm doing good. Raimi Spider-Man Peter Parker. I will do my best. Holding it up here is a little but I can make it work. So, good deal. So, I've been spending some time in public, out amongst lots of general people, right? Hold on, let me get the brightness turned up on my. It's nice to be able to see the screen. And, okay. Yeah, Samo, welcome to the quantum side of life. You damn straight. Okay. And, yeah, I've been spending time outside. Hey, Kathy. Kathy's in the chat. And I joined what you call an American Legion. It's a veteran organization. And, well, if any of y'all didn't know, I was in the Army and I was deployed to Saudi Arabia in 96. It was an interesting time. So, oh, I'm smiling. Smiling the best I can. But it was an interesting time. So I joined this veteran organization, and it turns out that I am of an age group where there are veterans coming out that are late 20s, early 30s. And then the majority of the people that are part of that group are Vietnam veterans. Okay. So there's a big gap. Well, I fit right in the middle and I can bridge the two. And that's good. That's good. They found out my old job was chaplain's assistant. So they know I do office work. And I'm helping run an office right now in real life. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to help out up there. And that means coffee. Coffee, staplers, and folders, and things like that. So I've been given a warm welcome, and that's all right. That's cool. Found out I suck at karaoke, but that's okay too. That's not what I'm there for. Karaoke was just there. I bombed it, y'all. So bad. I didn't realize that the lady could turn the key down because my voice is kind of on the deep side, and I tried to do a high-voiced song. It didn't work. My voice kept cracking. It was horrible. I was like, thanks, everybody. I'm so sorry. But that wasn't the point. The point was to just get up there and put myself out there. Hey, be part of the group, which is weird, okay? I haven't been part of a group in a long time. Never have been a group person. But anyway, that's one of the organizations I've been being public with, right? And I went to Uh, I went to a bar. Yeah, I don't do bar scene, right? I barely drink. And I went to a bar. I had a beer and switched to coffee after that and got a cheeseburger. So that was cool. And yeah, oh man, I'm going to have to back off because I'm not into the bar scene, right? Loud, noisy, crowded. Mm-mm. The only thing that's saving me and everybody around me is my own personal shielding. Samo, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because when you shield yourself, you're putting up a barrier between you and them, but then between them and you too. Because um, I don't know about everybody else, but I my problem with being in crowds is, hey Raven, good to see you in the chat. I'm glad you came by the Quantum Show, and that's shielding. And now that I've got a little bit, I'm nowhere. No, I don't know if there could be an expert, right? There's just a bunch of experience doing this. I don't know if an expert exists in psychic abilities. Okay, so we're all winging it. Anybody with any kind of sensitivity, and I've come to accept I've got that sensitivity. Um, so whenever I go in public, it's, oh man, I got to keep the shields up. And Raven has showed me a new shielding technique, and it is very effective. And I really do like it. It's the mirror. That's it. It's simple. All these things are simple. You just got to remember to do them. That's all. And you imagine yourself like covered in mercury, right? Mercury is shiny silver, and everything reflects off of you. Nothing can get in, and that's everything. So I've been using that along with the uh, the uh, the crystal shield and the armor plates and the Star Trek shields. Whatever works, right? Whatever works. So, uh, so I have been able. Sorry, I see. That's what happens when I look at the chat, right? I lose what I'm talking about, and so I've been shielding a lot in public and being able to actually be in public without. See, what happens is the veins pop out of my hands real bad, and that's how I know my anxiety starts building up. And then afterwards, I start getting dizzy and I get irritable and I start. It's almost like a low blood sugar where you get confused and you don't know what's going on 100%. It gets less and less. That's kind of like what it is. But shielding has stopped that. And it's just background noise, you know? Okay. And communicating in public. I said I went to the bar. I did. And I think I made a contact. I'm not sure. But keep in mind, it's really easy to mistake wishful thinking for this stuff. And you just got to go with it. And if it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, also great. Learn, move on. But I don't have all that experience yet. So I'm still learning how to feel things out. Okay. And at the bar, I think I made contact with something. And I swear it was like that something wanted me to go with them astrally. But I was like, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, got all this distraction around me. So I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try. So I'm sorry. I said, if this was if this was real and not me imagining it, which I don't think I was imagining it, then I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I got too much distraction and I'm busy. And that's all I can do. And So I took myself back to the here and now and just concentrated on where I was. And well, that's what I was doing in the first place. And I was listening and I heard that voice say, "Come with me," or beckon me. And I was like, I don't know how to do that, you know? And plus, I'm here. I can't leave here. If I leave, then I don't know what that would even mean. Would I mentally go somewhere? Would I be able to focus on the here as well as whatever that person wanted me to do? I don't think I would have been able to do it. So I said, "I'm sorry, I can't do that." And I concentrated on filtering all but that person out. Yeah, and I can read that. There's a whole bunch going on in the chat, but I can where to go? Good question. I don't know. He said, come with me, come with me. It was just come with me. And it didn't sound very knowledgeable. It was just, that was it. Come with me. It was like, nice to meet you. Come with me. I was like, I don't know how to do that. So I didn't. I just didn't. And that was that. But I tried to keep up a dialogue, but it just didn't happen. Couldn't. Hey, Shadow, welcome back. It's Quantum Show first hour. And I'm talking about going quantum in public. It's not the greatest thing in the world. But having any kind of sensitivity, shielding is a must. And something else I wanted to talk about was cloaking. Okay. It can be done. Cloaking is not so much shielding, because shielding is like when you're guarding against background, things that are already there and things that are noisy around you, and specific things. But cloaking is when you don't want to be observed on either astral. And when I was full on studying Buddhism, I could do it physically. It was amazing. People didn't know I was there. I would walk and no one would see me. No one would notice me. Here's what they would notice. They would notice a figure, a person, a nondescript person. They wouldn't be able to identify me, and they wouldn't remember that anybody had walked by. I was so, what's the word? Nondescript. It just didn't register, and I was background noise. That's cloaking. That's how I learned cloaking. And I know there's more to it, but I didn't get. Now that's the Buddhist way of doing it, where you're modifying your total energy field, right? And there's a different way of doing it. Buddhism has a different way of doing it. It's not based on chakras or energy fields. It's based on your will, and it's very brute force, what I learned, and it's not very conducive to spiritual uplifting, shall we say. And I left Buddhism feeling empty. Well, I didn't leave it because I never really arrived at it. And I was just beginning. I got the bodily self-control. Oh boy. There's a lot that goes with that, right? I'll get into it just a little bit. Bodily self-control. Okay. I could control how quickly I digested, how much air I needed, how much I wanted my eyes to dilate, depending on the light in the room. I could decide to, I couldn't filter my hearing, but I could extend my hearing. And that was a trip. I could hear things like 100 feet away, 200 feet away, whispering. That was amazing. And something else, it sounds like a party trick, but I could throw my voice, right? And I kept that ability. It happens every now and again. I can focus so well on something with intent that I could make my voice go far, not loud, far. It's like tight beam transmission. It's really cool. But anyway, looking at shielding in public, right? That was Buddhist stuff, and that was just a little interesting aside. And uh, so, being in public, you got to be able to shield and cloak. Cloak is a little more advanced than shielding. Shielding, anybody and everybody can do. An early shielding technique I did was get a song stuck in my head. I had an incident when I was working in the army, and all of a sudden I had like 50 voices in my head all doing something. And I got a song stuck in my head like that. I did it. It was Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same. For 2 years that song stayed in my head. I love Led Zeppelin. They're one of my favorite bands ever. But the same song for 2 years, maddening, okay? It was just maddening, beyond annoying. It was maddening. And it took all my Buddhist self to keep it together. And so that's one method. That was like an automatic. And every now and again, I will have some obscure song pop into my head, and I know something set it off. It's probably nothing, right? But it's there, and it's an automatic. It's an automatic defense that I guess I figured out how to do to crowd out. I can put in the noise so there's noise don't come in, you know? And okay, communicating in public. I get the craziest look on my face when I'm communicating in public, right? I look like I'm a million miles away and I'm in a conversation at the same time. I've had people tell me this. And I didn't realize at the time I was communicating. So I realized it this a few days ago at that bar. I realized what was going on, so I went with it. I run with it. And it was very interesting. So y'all are all in the chat room. That's cool. That's awesome. What's up, Bob Perkins? I didn't see you come in until just now. But yeah, that was the experience of that. And okay, the veterans group, the Legion. There's a lot of disharmony internally to a bunch of those people, and I can help them. Personally, I was lucky. I will tell you, I was lucky. In the military, deployed to Saudi Arabia, I was lucky. All right. I'm not going to get into details about that, but a lot of my buddies didn't make it out so lucky, right? I have my mental facilities, my physical facilities, mostly 20 years ago. And I'm going to put them to use helping my buddies, my new buddies, the younger people who are having trouble adjusting. Everybody has trouble adjusting. So I'm going to help them adjust. And when they heard chaplain assistant, they immediately started talking about going to church. I'm like, I didn't quite go the traditional route, guys. And I told one person what the nutshell version of my stuff, right? And some of them might be here in the chat. I don't know. I told people I run a show on YouTube called The Quantum Show. And they don't know what it is, right? They don't. Most of those guys, they don't know what it is. So I think a T-shirt is going to be in order. Oh, and I put a poll in the community tab on YouTube. So it's about me making a mug with my logo. and the logo is basically the YouTube logo, right? Where it's the silver guy with the quantum show in the circle. You see him in the corner, right? But there's a circle version too, and that's I was gonna make coffee mugs, make a coffee mug like Amy did. I was gonna get one of these made, and I put a poll in there. So go to the YouTube poll community tab and put a vote in. Okay, that thing is active. I have made the community tab active. Okay, I have a question in from the chat from somewhere. I just saw Samo put in, ask Nathan a question. What question? Uh, what's the question? Somebody had a question? Oh, no. Chat room is hopping tonight. Is there a show that let out? A good show? And okay. Well, I will wait for any questions to pop up, and I will try to put them in all caps because it helps me see them. I'm looking on my phone over here, and that's the most up to date thing, right? The computer over here, I'm still hobbling along. By the way, new computer is on the way. Not new, a replacement, a direct replacement for the tablet that the motherboard died. So, fingers crossed, I'm able to just seamlessly put my hard drive stuff on it and it be fine. And I make it my own. Okay. Oh, Shadow didn't do a show. I thought I saw a link pop up. I thought I saw a link pop up for you tonight. Okay. Facebook request. Do I remember? I do not remember, Samo. Samo says, Facebook request. Do I remember? I do not remember. Yes. Oh, Bob, thank you. I'm not here for money. I'm here to free your imagination out of that perpetual box all around us, or around us all. Yes. I am barely. Oh, okay. Somebody's. Okay, I didn't see who that was. That's okay. That's okay. Um. Okay, that's what he asked you. Now I don't know who he is. That's okay. It's okay. Moving along. Moving along. But I was talking about those guys over there at the Legion, right? All right. Yeah. And three of them in particular. See, I went outside. I don't know. I didn't know anybody there. It's the first day. And one guy sat down next to me thinking I was in trouble. Right. I was in like depressed or something because I was just looking on my phone, smoking a cigarette on the steps. And he, okay. And they thought that I was depressed. And three of them come up because they heard a spirited conversation happening. And we were talking about our experiences and how those guys had gotten out like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I got out in 99, right? That's been a while now. It's crazy that it's been that long. I can't believe it's been that long. I didn't think I'd make it past 27. And that's only because I made it to 25. And then at 27, see, I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X. So we didn't think we were going to live because we had, what did we have? We had missile crisis. We had the AIDS epidemic. We had the beginning of the racial bullshit, right? And we didn't think that, we thought we were going to just all kill each other. We thought we were going to be dead. How many Gen X in the chat? Put X, capital X in the chat if you're Gen X. Okay, go ahead. You went in 91? Yeah. I went in 94, dude. Samo, I went in 94, got out in 99. Okay. Born 79, you're Gen X. There's, yeah, Intergalactic, Gen X. Shadow and Sun, Gen X. Um, you check your numbers, Shadow. Graduated 98? Okay. Yeah, yeah. We're about the same age. You might be a year older than I am. So, yeah, so we got some Gen X going on in the chat. But yeah, something else. I am going to give my own stuff over there at that group, right? So they're getting cool, the best coffee stuff, the fancy coffee stuff. They've got a Ninja coffee maker, which is whatever, right? It takes the cones, and I got some supplies on the way for that. And I picked up them a box of creamer cups, like you get at the gas station. I found them on clearance, and I hope they like what is that thing called? I hope they like what I get them. So yeah, 75 Gen X. Yeah, and so that's going to. Oh, and I brought them a case of beer. I brought them a case of beer, donated. There's a bar on the inside, but you're not obligated to drink at the bar, right? Oh, I see. The Raimi Spider-Man Peter. What is the Raimi? What is Raimi? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. The Raimi. I know what Spider-Man means, of course. So, but I'll check the requests. I don't know. Facebook deletes old requests, right? And it deletes some requests. Not all of them make it through. So, I don't know. You check, see if it's still out there. And but what does Raimi mean in the name? Toby McGuire. Toby McGuire. Okay. I don't know. Okay. That's cool. Anyway, it's a Spider-Man thing. Gotcha. But I'm hooking them over. Oh, and they're getting Final Faction. It's military. These guys are sci-fi military. 2050 ain't that far away. Right? I'll be here in 2050. I'll be here when the Karn are discovered on the moon. Hell yeah. And but they're going to get some Final Faction. They're definitely going to get a droid of some kind because I am a droid guy. They're going to get a droid. They have yearly attractions, seasonal attractions that they do there, and there's a haunted fire engine unit. Fire, what do they call it? Fire Station 666. It's black, a giant, an old 60s black fire truck. It is cool. I need to take some better pictures when I go over there. When I take them the coffee stuff. And also, I am using a tripod here. Well, I had a backup, and it's not the greatest backup, but it's a backup and it's functional and it's a tripod. So I was like, they have a Facebook page. I donated my tripod. It will work with any phone. It's not a tripod for a camera. It's a tripod for a phone. So, I mean, if they have the little screw thing, it'll work too. But so I'm getting into it, right? I'm getting into it with them. They're nice people. They were nice to me, and I'm being nice to them. And you know what the only color is over there? Green. That's the only color. Nobody cares about any of that bullshit because we were beyond that. In our life, we're beyond it now. It doesn't matter. No, the only other color is Jedi. Droid builder. So they're going to get a droid and they're going to get coffee stuff. And I don't know. I'm thinking about saying, hey, do you need me to help you with the office? Because I mean, I'm literally qualified for office management. I'm kind of doing it now. And so that's that. But yeah, something else. Here on YouTube, go to the community tab and click a vote. I put, I want a mug. Shut up and take my money. Show me what you got. Nah, not me. And I'd rather have a T-shirt. So whatever. It's just to get the general feel because I want to have a quantum show something, right? I don't want to just make buttons. Buttons are cool, but they're cheap, right? And they break off, they fall down, and they get lost forever, and nobody pays attention to them. Hell, I might do rollerball big pins. I don't know. Why not? You know, put quantum show. That font is that's in my that font that's on my logo. That is called. It is from that show, well, Airwolf, and that's the font that I used. Right. It looks a lot like the Star Wars font, but it's not. Though I could do a Star Wars font one, and I would like to. I'm going to take the picture of the silver dude, and I'm going to run him through a few filters. If anybody wants to help, let me know. Go to the community tab, right, and respond to one of the questions there. If you know how to filter that stuff, but I'm going to go with Canva. I don't know how to use it. I just signed up for it, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing for. I want both a T-shirt and a mug, even if it's one mug, right? A T-shirt and a mug, and even if it's one T-shirt, I've got one Final Faction T-shirt. I didn't make a bunch of them, though. I should phone that in and just do a short run. You know, make 20. You know, make 20 Final Faction because I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of the Final Faction. Mm. Um, Raimi, is there a way for me to win an R2D2 interactive droid voice command toy in the book? No, I'm not running a giveaway or a contest. I have one. He is broken. That's the only voice activated droid I have. He is broken. His microphone does not listen. I don't care. He looks great and he works otherwise. So one of the it's a big toy, okay? It's like 1/3 scale. Okay, R2D2 around is 19 inches. Let's say 20 inches. So 1/3 scale is about this big around. It's a big droid, okay? Big. And um I have I need to do a show me video of the big droids that I've got, including MFR6 in the hallway. He's big. He's half scale. He's 10 inches around, not including legs. But no, not a contest to win anything, Raimi. Just, do you want the mug? Would you rather have a T-shirt? Would you want a mug? I can show him on camera. You know what? Sure, I'll show him on camera. Hold up. I don't. He's fairly handy, so hold on. Be right back. I have a request for show me. Okay, I got him. This is the big droid. This is him. He's big. He doesn't look very big, but let me show you. Okay? Hopefully you know how big. Okay. He is 3.75 inches. Okay? Big. Okay, now let me get my headphone back in. Hopefully you could hear me. And yeah, I do. Yeah, hopefully you could hear me. He's big, okay? The whole back side is a battery cover. See those two screws? You take those off, the whole back side is a battery cover. It takes a whole chunk of AA batteries. He's not the only big one I have. I've got, there's one called the Thinkway. He's over there too. They sit next to each other. They are not identical, though they ought to be. And this is the one that will, not him. Okay. This is the one that you say, Art, hey R2, do you remember Darth Vader? And he'll react because he has something of voice recognition. It's pattern recognition. So, okay, Intergalactic Overhaul. Jokes aside, what does he do and say? He sounds like R2D2, but he's got this little projector thing. You put him next to a wall and you say, do you remember Princess Leia? Oh, see, got that. Right. And and he plays a song, the Princess Leia song, and this lights up and projects it on the wall about maybe a foot away or 2 feet away. And he runs around. There's modes. There's an online manual. He just makes droid sounds. Now, he's a little dusty. The giveaway to know which one you're looking at is if you see the blue thing, see these two little round things right there? Those are ultrasonic sender and receiver, right? Yeah. Well, he's broken, so he doesn't listen. His microphone is messed up. I got him super cheap. Like, I got him for like $15. And he's big. He looks great, though. You know? Again, for scale reference, what am I doing? This is a 3.75 inch. This is Star Wars action figure. No, well, same scale. Look how big it is, right? And he is not that light either. So this is, and this is one of the, to me, it's a grail, right? To me, the big droid toys. No, he's got, oh yeah, he has a cup holder, a can holder, a spring-loaded can holder, right? You can actually put a Coca-Cola can in there, and it will hold it and drive and carry it around. I don't have anything that diameter. Oh, here we go. I got a water bottle. It's a little bit less diameter, but he will hold it, and he will hold it perfectly, and he will drive around with it, and it's in there such a way that it won't fall out if he moves and stops. And right, although this tall, it might fall out. And it folds up. You close the door, and this one, you open this, and I think he's actually missing something over here. I think he's supposed to have just a big arm that comes out, though I don't see. Yeah, he's got something there that is missing. Again, I got him as broken, and well, he still looks great. So yeah, he's big, and I might do a show me on all these droids because he's not the only big one I got, right? I've got the Thinkway, and I've got popcorn. Oh, wait, no, not the popcorn popper. Popcorn bucket, which is just a popcorn bucket, right? And I've got the little bits that is no longer supported, so I'm going to have to go Arduino with him. And I've got my Galaxy Edge droid up there. He's an R5 technically, but I got 3 domes for him. The domes are interchangeable, and I have 3 of the Hasbro interactive app-controlled droids. And yeah, that's it for the big droids. And MFR6 in the hallway. He stands in the hallway because he's half scale. And he's not done yet, but they're never done anyway, so there's no rush. Anyway, okay, that was that. And okay, we're talking about shielding and the quantum realm. Okay, the quantum here, the quantum that is here. Toys are great, right? They're excellent distraction, but gotta stay on target. Stay on target. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, shielding communication in public, distraction. That's where I get the idea for cloaking, because if you can get the emphasis away from you, one method of cloaking, and it's not really cloaking, because cloaking, you're putting a shield over you that's black. It's more like visual static, where you become static, and like static on a TV, interference, the black and white non-signal, right? You can put that up, and it's just like you hear in your head, right? And you hear on a TV that's on channel something nothing, and so when you're doing that, they can't see you what they're looking for. They can't see your energies. Your energies are scrambled. That is a cloak, okay? And they can't identify you on any kind of astral energetic framework, okay? And it takes practice, and it also takes repetition and technique, because these are all mental exercises, right? We're doing mental exercises, and believe it or not, that is our link to the quantum realm, is our creativity. It is hardwired, and we have built-in antennas, and we are broadband as far as that goes. To liken it to Muggle tech terms, right? Muggle tech. Okay, Samo, what are we talking about? Peeing in the grass. No. Oh, dude. No. Where's the quantum show going? Now we're peeing in the yards of the neighbors? Ooh. That means need more coffee. I'll make do until the break. Okay. Oh, this is interesting, because we sit inside, watch videos in our little houses instead of going outside and looking up. I am always looking up. One time, I went outside when I was a little kid. Again, Gen X, we did that. And I laid down in the yard, and I let my eyes forget they had a limit, right? Which is cool. You can forget you have a limit, and all of a sudden, you're unlimited. Okay? It takes suspension of disbelief and faith in yourself. And I saw a B-52 jet. It had to be. Now, you know how big that thing is. It has 4 clusters of 2 turbine engines each, and they're enormous. Okay? This thing's wingspan, I don't even remember. It's really wide. The wings have their own landing gear on the tips, if I remember that right. Big honking plane. I saw it with my own 2 eyes, and there was no mistaking it. It had the engine clusters, very well wide swept wings going back, and I was like, that's a bomber. That's that bomber from the movies. I'd seen something. How old was I? I want to say 9. I think I was 9 when I did that. Yeah. Go out in the yard on a clear day. Let your eyes adjust to the bright sunlight. By the way, is the sun brighter? Because I don't remember the sun being this bright. I could look up in the blue sky, and my eyes were fine. Now I look up in the blue sky, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so bright. I can't tell. I can't stand it. Of course, that was 30 something years ago, so it could be me. But you can forget you have limits. And that's something. There was a book series called the Illuminatus Trilogy. It was a comedy, but it was based on some really deep stuff, right? It's from the 70s and 80s, I believe. And flying is the art of falling and missing the ground. Okay, that stayed with me. I read that 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, and it stuck with me. I'm like, wait a minute. The art of falling and missing the ground, you're forever falling. Well, what sense does that make? And I'm not going to get into it here. There's a big, long explanation in the book. I'll leave it at that, right? The Illuminati trilogy, or the Illuminatus trilogy. And very good book, series, very good series, excellent series, very mind trippy, it's quantum, okay? That is one of the things that has influenced me all these years, is the Illuminatus trilogy. Tell you what, I'll leave a link. Illuminatus trilogy. I will leave a link after the show, and I'll find it on Amazon because it's old, it's common. Trilogy. And it was supposed to be one of those big, crazy banned books, and I'm like, why? It's more comedy than anything else. So, yeah, that was a very influential set of books for me. And most of the time, you get them in a single book. You don't have to get each of three, but you can forget you have limits. You can forget you're not psychic. You can forget that you can be seen, and all of a sudden, that becomes your reality. Yeah, it sounds impossible, but I have been in situations where, here's one. I was cutting onions, and I just decided I'm going to cut onions. Now, what happens when you cut onions? Okay, now I didn't have any safeguard. I didn't have no running water. I didn't have a match burning or none of that, those home remedy things, right? So I was just cutting onions, and it was bothering my nose and making me cough a little bit, but it wasn't bothering my eyes. And as soon as I remembered, wow, this should be irritating my eyes, I should be crying over this, it started. I could not stand it. I forgot it was supposed to irritate me. And I said, this does not irritate me. How did that work? All right. And that's a more, well, that was a long time ago. Another one that happened was, okay, this was a total, I still don't understand what happened, but I think it was affecting of reality. Uh, those razors that you get with the pop-off blades? Remember well, I think you can still get them where you can put the blades on backwards by mistake. Well, I put it on backwards by mistake, and I started shaving. And it was acting, it worked. It worked. And it should not have worked because it was acting like an old razor. And I'm like, why is, it's brand new. And I looked, and it was on backwards. I was halfway done. I was like, whoa, how does that even happen? It shouldn't have worked at all. Okay. I have, alrighty then. Oh, Raimi, no, the book is not a little bit big. It's just maybe a 350-page novel of the trilogy of books. 3 small books, and maybe, yeah, it's about 350 pages. And it's not a huge tome or nothing. It's the one I had was like a large paperback, and like, well, I don't have a regular, like a novel paperback, but it was larger, just a little bit larger. But books don't really have a standard size, so um but yeah, so that's affecting reality. And okay, Those are early lessons. The thing with the razor, the thing with the onion, those are early indicators to me that it's up here, right? And that was practical experience. Now, all the incidents that I've had where I've communicated in public at the convention, it was just a couple of pings here and there. My shields didn't even automatically go up. You know, the song in my head didn't automatically go up. And since then, I've learned so much. Oh, so much. So much has happened that I cannot I cannot deny it. All of this stuff has happened, and I cannot deny any of it. The demon. I will tell these stories at some point. The demon, the ants. Those are old stories. The graveyard, the Dyson goggles, catching stuff with the camera where I couldn't see it, discovering they don't work for me because I'm already seeing auras. I didn't know they're called auras. It's not a visual sense, it's more of a gut feeling, but colors have a feel, okay? I can feel the color of someone's aura rather than see it. I can perceive it, okay? I got a friend, I was telling her, she had a bunch of nervous energy, crazy nervous energy. And I was like, you need to calm down. Your aura is just sparking. And it wasn't that I could see sparks, I could feel it just all over her, right? I was like, calm down, breathe. We did a couple of breathing exercises and everything was cool after that. And it started to be cool. She chilled out more later. And it was just calming. Okay, there was anxiety built up and some stuff going on and that. So now I will look in the chat. It is 4 minutes away from the end of the first hour. So I'm going to look in the chat and see what are we talking about. I'm going back a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, I remember. Is the book a little bit big? No, it's not a little bit big. I told you. I've never eaten Klingon. Not yet. Who's to say it won't happen? I don't know. And space meals will be a vial. Everything in a sip. I don't know. Okay, Zach. Lucid and vivid nightmares. Not interested in those, but thank you. So he said, if you enjoy extremely lucid and vivid nightmares, red onions right before bed. I will take your word for it. You go, guy. And some chit chat. Derek, I do not know. Where can I see what you're talking about, dude? Have you been on? Were you on Amy's show? Were you on Rich's show? Drop a link in the comments afterwards, okay? I can't look at them in the chat now. It's impractical. After the show, we're about to wrap it up for the first hour. But, yeah, I'm looking. But, Derek, we will have to talk about it. So, send me a message. I got all my contact information on the YouTube page. And also, consequently, on the Rumble page. I have a Rumble. This is going out. If it gets taken off of YouTube, it also goes to Rumble. So, you can go there. Okay, ufology. All right, Derek is saying ufology. You can speak with the best of them. Oh, thanks, Samantha. Hopefully, you can stay for the panel. I will be sending out links to those interested. I'm going to try for Raven, and I think Joe is still feeling sick, so he got some throat issues going on. So, antibiotics and warm tea, hot tea. Joe, skip the show again. It's okay. Shadow will be here. Lynn will be here. Frank will do what he always does. He'll be on backup, be on retainer. So we'll see. And yeah, only on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you, Samo. Booyah. And love you too, Samantha. Thank you for saying that out there with the hearts and the pink flying hearts. And yeah, I will go ahead. We are at 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes before break time. And then I'm going to go out. I will be sending out links. I'm going to go ahead and just edit the show after the panel, like sometime tomorrow. Okay. I did a show description because I actually put the show up 2 days in advance. Yay, me. Doing some stuff. I would love to see that. Also, my YouTube channel. I filmed a UFO last Thursday night over the ocean at Jacksonville Beach. Drop a link, dude. Put a link in the comments after, okay? And you can't put a link in the chat, unfortunately. This is just... Well, thank you, Samantha. We appreciate you being here. Love to talk to you one-on-one, Intergalactic Overhaul. Okay. One day. Like you said, one day. Yeah. Call it the second half, but it's, I don't know. I say second hour. It normally goes for longer. I try to go for 2 hours on the panel, which I think is pretty good. And Intergalactic Overhaul, hit you up on Facebook anytime. Will do, bro. I will. Yes, after the show. Any links you want to put out there, put them in the comments after the show. Okay, this has been the first hour of the Quantum Show. Like and subscribe. If you're here, you're Quantum. And I will steal Amy's thing. How did you find yourself here? How in the YouTube algorithms did you find yourself at the Quantum Show? Hit like and subscribe. Buy the hottest mug in ufology. The bodies, the documents, the craft. Tastes like disclosure. I love that. I love doing that. That was so much fun. Ah, okay. Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. I'm going to start hitting buttons, pushing buttons, ending the show. Come back if you can for the panel, Quantum panel. Hit like, subscribe, tell your friends, send it through the ether, hug your crystal, broadcast this. Thanks, everybody. Keeping it quantum. See you in a little bit. Out of your body. Pushing buttons.